So, hallo liebe Norfans, wir sind hier backstage mit den mächtigen, den einzigartigen Carcass. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
How was the gig?
Glad it's over. No, it's good. It's fun.
It's good. Yeah.
So, how was the crowd? How did the crowd react?
Germany's always hard for Carcass, but we had fun, and some people enjoyed it. And I think a lot of people were like, "Who the fuck is this band?" Which is fine. But we had. To be honest, if I enjoy the gig, that's great. And
Okay.
if other people enjoy it, that's fantastic. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I can only be honest, you know. You can't. I had fun, you know.
So why is Germany hard?
Because you're Germans, I don't know. We're not. We don't play lowbrow music. Sorry. Go on, you explain. You know this better than me. He's more.
Let's say bands like Bolt Thrower, who are a great band, of course, legends. The whole War thing, or Sodom. That's all real great metal. Love it. It's very direct.
The word you're looking for is simple.
No. And so, well, I don't know. It's just different audiences react differently, and sometimes some audiences go really wild, and sometimes German audiences seem to, but other times not to. But tonight was great. They really seemed to get into it more as the gig went along as well, which is always fun when they kind of get more into it as the gig kind of progresses.
Yeah,
you feel like you're making progress.
Yeah, I mean, what we realised is we got. I mean, we're trying to be clever when we were younger, and now we're older. We realise people want simpler stuff, and they want to be able to raise a fist and chant, and yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, you play great stuff.
Well,
and
we try to run the gauntlet of everything, from simple to a bit more technical. We're never that technical, but you know what I mean. We incorporate a lot of different styles. It's not just one, like, we're not a one-trick pony. It's not just like breakdowns all the way through the set. Some that's melodic, some that's primitive, some that's heavy, some that's grindcore, some that's fast. You know what I mean? We're all over the place, and I guess sometimes people just want AC/DC.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, meat and potatoes. I'd say meat and potatoes in Deutsch.
Carcass plays
what, milk and
No,
potato?
meat. Meat, Fleisch.
Fleisch und Kartoffeln.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That could be a backprint for a new German band.
So, and that's also leads me direct to my next question. And you've been around for many years, right?
Oh yeah, decades.
Decades. And you kind of, the beginning was really like death metal grindcore-like, and then there was a shift in music, right? Why? And just explain it and take us through the process, how you changed your music. Or was there a change to begin with?
No, I mean, we did this, and then we grew up a bit, and then we did that, and we grew up a bit, and we keep growing up, and we keep. It's not a deliberate, cynical maneuver. We just like play the music we like, and yeah, there's no. But it's great. You saying he thinks that we're like the Who. but it's not. It's not like a cynical maneuver. It's like we just kind of like, yeah. You get better as a musician, and you have different influences, and you just try different things.
So what you're saying is that you like grow up, of course, and then you try to be a better musician. Is that it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like every band should do that. They don't.
Because a lot of bands stick to their style and they never evolve, and you evolved.
But that's why a lot of the audience did not think what we were doing. Because stylistically we're all over the place. That's the problem.
But I would say, as a fan of Carcass, primarily I've been a fan for most of my life, and now I get to play with the band. I think that's a great thing about the band, that each album has been different, and it's like almost, it seems from the outside like that was where they were in that year at that time, and then they evolved a bit and they got like that. You kind of see them maturing and growing up.
Yeah.
And some bands do just do the same thing over and over again, and that's great. It really works well for some bands. In fact, it's a who would want AC/DC to do something different?
Yeah, I
thank
agree,
God.
I agree.
Thank God they're doing the same
Can I
thing.
just say that's also the handicap with Carcass, because like someone that heard Carcass in 1988 would think that's shit. You know what I mean? And like they wouldn't understand what we sound like now. And maybe if they heard us in 1990, it didn't like what we were playing then. But we've moved on, you know. We get. I understand that. We've been written off so many times. You know, that's Carcass. They sound noisy. They sound shit, you know. But we're all right, I think. I mean, but yeah, what can I say?
So you mentioned the 90s. You broke up with Carcass in the 90s and found together in 2007.
Yeah, sounds all right. Thanks.
What happened?
Damn. Okay, let me think about this. We had a break and then realised it'd be fun to get back together again, and could be cynical and say we had some good offers to reform. But it's not just about that. It's like, yeah, how can I explain it? I mean, for me personally, I'd been playing in another band called Brujeria. And I realised, and that was fun, it was great, and then lots of people were asking me, oh, what about Carcass? I'm like, we didn't, I mean, and the same with Bill. Bill was playing with Firebird. Both of us didn't realise how well loved Carcass was, because we'd been away for 8 years maybe. So we're like, okay. We didn't realise how appreciated Carcass was, because when we split in the 90s, no one gave a fuck. No one's ever cared about Carcass, really. No, seriously. No, I mean, honestly, seriously, when we're on Earache with the early albums, even Heartwork, which is a seminal album, when it came out, no one cared.
I remember being. I mean,
yeah, but
I was excited when it came out.
Yeah, but it was. You're probably like one of the few people. It's only years later. It's a seminal album, and yeah, I mean, we didn't realise the impact we made, and we thought, well, like, wow, and there was a demand, so we're like, and it's fun, and we like to play together again, I guess. So
again, from the outside, I guess the albums really stood the test of time, and as the years went by, people recognised more and more their influence on different genres and different styles, and the songs were really great. So a momentum was built up, I guess, as the years went by and the demand grew, you know.
So you started yourself as a Carcass fan,
Yeah.
and what was your favorite album?
ask him about Amulet, his band.
No.
He's in the band on Century Media, Amulet.
Yeah. Worth checking out. Traditional British heavy metal band, yeah. A couple of albums out there, yeah. I think basically I had the original Grind Crusher, and there was the recording of Exhume to Consume on there, and it's like
That's the best recording we ever did, actually.
it's got like 6 layers of guitars, and it's just so. It was the heaviest thing me and my brother at the time, we were just getting into heavier and heavier music, had ever heard, and we were just absolutely mind blown by it. But around that same time, 93, there was a sampler called Earplugged, an Earache record sampler, and it had Embodiment and No Love Lost on it as well. And like just that production on that was just like clearly incredible, and like those songs were brilliant, and the guitar work and everything. And yeah, Heartwork, it was basically like the really early grind stuff via Grind Crusher, and then getting to Heartwork, and then of course checking it all out. But yeah, so that was my entry point, let's put it that way, yeah.
And now I shall ask you about your other band.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other band, Amulet, it's unfortunately it's sort of in hibernation now, but it's just a little heavy metal band. And
In hibernation, because you got dropped by Century Media.
well, yeah, I guess so. Well, no, it's just like life took over really, with other things coming up, you know. But it's just like, I won't go on about it, but it's just a really good little traditional British heavy metal band playing old school metal, basically. I think people might enjoy it if they check it out. You know, it's like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a poor man's version of those ones.
But now let's talk about like the current situation and also perhaps the future of Carcass, because your last release was in 21, I think. It was Torn from the Arteries, or Torn Arteries. 21, yeah. And is there something new work in progress?
No.
Can you say anything to make us fans happy?
No. 9.
9.
We'll see what happens.
Perhaps a live album?
9, definitely not. Live albums are the worst. They're never live. That's a problem.
Well, there are a couple of live albums I really enjoy.
But-
For example,
but-
Iron Maiden, Live After Death.
Well, that's
a good one.
probably was the last live album. But most bands, they record it and then they go back in the studio and they cheat. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
of
like,
course.
yeah, but you want to hear that, you know. For me personally, if you want to hear the band live, come to the fucking concerts.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
This idea, I understand if you live in Nebraska and you're 12 years old and you can't travel, you want to hear the band live. But there's enough material on YouTube or out there. Yeah, I mean, there's a time when live albums were great, The Who, Iron Maiden, whoever. But now it's become a kind of get-out clause with a record label.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
see.
yeah. And they're never live. People go back in the studio, they change, you know, they're like, oh, I fluffed that, you know.
So they cheat.
Yes, yeah, of course they do.
And what about the different metal scenes? Because you played in a lot of countries, of course. So what continent or country would you say has the best crowd?
Germany.
Germany. Of course,
Lying.
you have to say
I'm
that.
lying though, yeah. No, probably Japan or South America.
Really? Why?
Chile's pretty wild, isn't it?
How come?
It's just crazy. Because they've been starved culturally.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, Japanese are just always been intense anyway. But South America, they've been starved and they're a bit loco anyway, crazy, and they're very passionate. You know. I mean, Germans are great if you're in Saxon or Dero Pesch's band or Creator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm digging myself a hole.
No, Germans like metal very traditional and very pure.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, if Manowar were playing tonight, it would have been
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Carcass is it is a complete metal band, but it's a little bit interesting, going off in different directions, and so it's not quite as purely, you know, like Manowar, like
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
but like you know.
And what about the live shows? Do you prepare yourselves in front of before you play a show?
Have a few beers,
A few beers, okay.
kind of
Or
jam
meditate?
a bit.
They jam on the guitars and
practice,
stuff.
yeah. Kind of get warmed up. We have a couple of guitars backstage, and we sort of. I go through the set list a bit and just remind myself of everything. Yeah.
Which is weird because like when we were teenagers, you would just turn up and just play the gig.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember years ago I saw like Metallica had a tent, drum kit, guitar. I'm like, why would you play for an hour before you go on stage?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know,
Well,
because you don't want to have a kind of mental block on a riff and be like, so it's like,
yeah, that's part of the fun.
Have a blackout to remember the notes.
yeah, exactly. So,
And also because Carcass has been around for a long time. You've met a lot of metal bands, but my question is, and I also asked this a couple of other bands today, what album?
Who's the biggest asshole?
Yeah, no, you can answer that too.
Me.
What metal album would you pick if you were on a lonely island? You only got to pick one.
for me, it would be probably Power Slave by Iron Maiden.
Okay, great choice.
Sorry, you have to give me 10 minutes to think about it. Damn.
In the Army Now by Quag.
It's not metal though, is it? Probably one of my own albums actually, just a bit
Really?
weird.
Okay.
It's a bit strange to say, but I mean, yeah,
They're
just
good albums.
torment
I'll give you that.
myself. I don't know. Probably Swan Song to really torment myself, commit suicide.
Oh my god. Okay, guys.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back later with an answer to that.
Okay, definitely. We'll let you know in the comments below what he chose. Okay, this was Carcass. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it. And yeah.
We are.
Oh, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.